Welcome to Chiang Mai. So my girlfriend Luan and I are visiting Thailand for a couple days. We live in Da Nang, Vietnam, but there was a massive typhoon about to hit, so we figured we'd get out of town for a couple days. Both Chiang Mai and Da Nang are really popular places for travelers and for digital nomads and retirees looking for a cool place to live. So in this video, we're gonna compare the two places. There's a lot of pros and cons to each of them. They're actually very different places. Today is actually my birthday. It's Luan's first time in Thailand. I think it's gonna be a pretty good trip. Let's get into it. Cheers.
So one of the main reasons we decided to come to Chiang Mai now is because of the weather. There was a huge storm brewing in Da Nang the day we left, but here in Chiang Mai, the weather's perfect. From about October through January, it can be pretty rainy. The weather in Chiang Mai is pretty good most of the year, I think, but there is a month or two that you definitely don't want to be in Chiang Mai, and that's in March and April. It's the burning season for the farmers in the countryside. A lot of the pollution and smoke comes in and settles into the city. March and April just happens to be the best weather of the year in Da Nang. So I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that like to bounce back and forth between Da Nang and Chiang Mai depending on which place has the best weather.
I'll show you around the hotel room real quick. So we've got a little balcony right here connected to the pool. So just to give you an idea of prices, so the hotel room is fine. It's nothing fancy. It's very simple, very plain hotel room. This spot was about 65 USD a night, which is pretty pricey compared to Vietnam. In Da Nang, for 60 bucks a night, you can get a nice hotel right on the beach, ocean view, balcony, rooftop pool. So there's a lot of things in Thailand that are gonna be a little bit pricier than Vietnam. But overall, nothing to complain about. Both Thailand and Vietnam are well known for having some of the best food in the world. I love the food in both places. It's a little bit hard to compare them because they're actually quite different. Here in Thailand, you've got a lot of rich flavors, lots of spice, lots of stir fries, especially here in northern Thailand, they do a lot of curries. In Vietnam, you've got a lot of light dishes, soups with a thin bone broth, lots of fresh herbs and vegetables. You really can't go wrong either way. Here in Chiang Mai, probably the most popular dish is called khao soi. So this is a coconut milk-based curry, egg noodles, some crispy egg noodles on top. You can get either chicken, pork, or beef. I've got the pork version here. Always comes with lime, some onions, some pickled veggies. Absolutely delicious. Definitely one of my favorite Thai dishes. I'll eat one of these almost every day that I'm here. Amazing. Whenever you're traveling to a new country, one of the first things you need to worry about is setting up phone data. It's nice to walk outside when you arrive at the airport and be able to call a taxi to get to your hotel. So I want to take a minute, thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Airalo. Airalo is the top-rated eSIM company worldwide. You just download the Airalo app. It's super easy to get set up with data, so you're good to go as soon as you arrive. Their eSIMs are 100% digital, so you don't need any physical SIM card. Airalo offers affordable data plans in more than 200 countries and regions worldwide. So wherever you're traveling to, you'll be able to get set up with phone data quickly and easily. You can use my code TRAVIST3 to get $3 off your first eSIM. I've been using Airalo for years. Every time I travel to a new country, you're not gonna find better prices for eSIMs. It's so convenient not having to worry about picking up a local physical SIM card. You can find the code and link in the description right underneath the video, or you can use the QR code to download the app. So download Airalo today, get $3 off your first eSIM with code TRAVIST3. When it comes to the people and the culture, everyone is going to agree that both Thai and Vietnamese people are very friendly, very welcoming, but there's one major difference from my perspective. Thai people are very used to seeing and interacting with foreigners. Thailand's been established for a long time as a tourist destination. A lot of Thai people speak English. Vietnam, on the other hand, is still relatively new when it comes to mass tourism. Outside of the major touristy areas, most Vietnamese people won't speak any English. So for me living in Vietnam, it's still really exciting every day when I meet people I feel like they're genuinely interested and curious about where I come from. Vietnamese people love to show off their country. They're really happy that foreigners are there. Not to say that Thai people don't feel exactly the same. I just think it's less of a novelty here. But I think it's safe to say either place you show up, you're going to be welcomed. You're going to feel very comfortable. The most obvious pro for Da Nang over Chiang Mai is the beach. But even though you don't have a beach, what you do have is a lot of nature. What I love about this city is it's very green. There's plants and trees everywhere. You've got mountains and waterfalls nearby. You only got to drive a couple minutes outside of the city center and you start seeing lots of open spaces, a lot of grassy green fields. That's something that's almost impossible to find in Vietnam. I would say that the vibe of both towns is pretty chill and relaxed. Da Nang is clearly more of an actual city, but what I like about Da Nang is it doesn't feel like an overwhelming big city. It's nothing compared to Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City or Bangkok, for example. So both places have a kind of small town vibe. There's one thing that I think people overlook a lot when they're considering a place that they want to live long term, and that's what kind of community of expats are living there. Da Nang is relatively very up and coming. Here in Chiang Mai, you've got lots of digital nomads. You've got that older hippie yoga kind of crowd here. The legal weed kind of helps keep everything mellow. For a long time, there really wasn't much of an expat community in Da Nang. But lately, I've started a travel community for people that want to move to Da Nang. We've got over 650 members now. We do a big group meetup once a month, and it's got all the information you need to move over and get settled in, how to find an apartment, do visa runs, open a bank account. The group's really awesome. I think you're going to love it. So if you are thinking about moving to Da Nang, check out the group. It's going to be under the video in the description. So a really popular thing to do here in northern Thailand, they've got these elephant sanctuaries all over the place. You come feed the elephants, hang out with them for a while. So most of these elephants, they're rescued from the logging trade. Maybe some of them used to be in circuses, things like that. It used to be really common. You can come to these places and ride them, take them in the river and bathe them, stuff like that. They don't let you do any of that anymore. It's just let them hang out naturally. Feed them bananas. They eat hundreds of bananas every day. Yeah, good boy. Just so massive when you're up next to them. You can't believe how big they are. It's really scary. It feels like they could just crush you. They could just grab you with that trunk and squeeze you to death if they wanted to. Definitely a cool little pit stop. Cool little experience here. Yo. Gone home. We decided to do a little motorbike trip, drive to Pai, which is about 3.5 hours up into the mountains outside of Chiang Mai. Really important, when it comes to driving motorbikes, it's very different between the two countries. In Thailand, they're very strict. There's a lot of police checkpoints. We got pulled over twice in about a 10-minute period outside of Chiang Mai. If you do get stopped without a license, you're gonna pay a big fine. The good news is that they will accept any type of international driving permit. We were able to get away no problem with Vietnamese driver's license because there's a deal between the countries. So luckily we didn't have any problems, but if you're driving illegally in Thailand, you're probably gonna get caught and probably gonna have to pay a big fine. On the other hand, in Vietnam, it's almost impossible to drive legally as a foreigner. You have to have a long-term visa in order to get a Vietnamese driver's license. The good news is there's not nearly as many police. I've only been pulled over once in Da Nang in over 2.5 years of driving every day. So it's rare to get stopped. And if you do get stopped and busted without a license, you're probably going to pay a fee of about 20 US dollars. Now we got to talk about overall prices. If you're coming from a Western country, both Thailand and Vietnam are going to seem very cheap to you. Thailand is going to be a little bit more expensive than Vietnam. It's not a huge difference, and it's not something that you should base your decision on where you want to travel or live, but it's pretty noticeable in a few areas. For one, accommodation. Hotels are more expensive in Thailand. Another big one is beer. In Vietnam, at a local Vietnamese restaurant, you can get a beer for less than $1. Here, you're paying $3, $4, sometimes $5 a beer. It might not seem like a huge deal, but if you're a big drinker, that's going to add up over time. Food costs seem to be pretty close. If you're eating at local Thai place versus a local Vietnamese place, the prices are going to be very cheap for good quality food. Also, transportation, it's a lot more expensive in Thailand getting around. In Vietnam, we have Grab. You can get almost anywhere for $1. Here, you're spending $3 or $4 for a 5-minute tuk-tuk ride. Across the board, almost everything seems to be a little bit more expensive in Thailand. You don't notice it for each individual purchase, but over the course of a 5-day trip, it definitely adds up. All right, we got a cool little cottage here. I want to show you around real quick. So coming inside, we got a much nicer place than we had in Chiang Mai. Really big room, vaulted ceilings. Feels like a kind of nature cabin. Definitely the highlight is this balcony overlooking the river. Super cool spot. This is the same price as the room we stayed in Chiang Mai, something like 60, 65 US dollars a night. So a lot better value up here. Super cool room. We like this one. Last day in Chiang Mai has been a really good trip so far. Did 2 days in Chiang Mai, up to Pai for a couple days, back to Chiang Mai before we head back to Da Nang. Sorry if I seem a little bit sleepy. I just woke up. I'm having a coffee. I feel like I got to talk about this coffee situation. Both Thailand and Vietnam have a strong coffee culture. I've been enjoying a lot of good coffee on this trip. Tons of cool coffee shops all over the place. Thailand is famous for growing really high quality Arabica beans in the Northern Highlands. There's just one problem. When you're used to drinking the Vietnamese Robusta, this stuff just doesn't really have the right kick you're looking for. It's two different types of coffee beans. The Vietnamese coffee has about double the caffeine as the coffee here in Thailand. So I've been drinking 2, sometimes 3 of these big glasses of coffee every day. Actually, before I started filming this part, I took a little shot of espresso just to get juices flowing, you know what I mean? So I've been living in Vietnam for 6 years now, and in that time, I've done a lot of trips to Thailand. I absolutely love it over here. Both countries are gonna be great places to live. If you're thinking about moving to one of these countries, you gotta show up, see it in person, figure out which culture and lifestyle is gonna work for you. I think most people get to a place and they feel a connection and they go, all right, this is gonna work for me. So I hope this was useful. Now, speaking of coffee, you should check out this video over here. I did a deep dive on the coffee culture in Vietnam. It's actually my favorite video I've ever made. I'll see you over there. Peace.